Welcome to the Mirth Films Kinda Live
Kinda living.
podcast, and thank you for tuning in once again to our live show. We got a lot of things to talk about this week, and we might as well start it off rough because we just tried doing this 3 times in a row and failed completely each time.
Yeah.
By user error, not
User error.
computer error.
This is on us.
So what happened the first time, Doug?
Well, we went unlisted.
First time, yeah. So we first time we forgot to hit record.
Oh,
So big no.
kind of got to do that.
Kind of got to do that. And then the second time we had the video pretty much private, so you couldn't even watch it.
But we were halfway through it.
We were halfway through the video, and it was too bad because it was gonna be a good one.
It was gonna be a good one. But let's just kick it off.
Kick it off.
We're at a new location this week, if you couldn't tell. We
Yep,
spent
yep.
last weekend moving. We have a new lovely background. Mirth Films t-shirt, which you can get at our Etsy store, linked down below.
Yep,
For just
yep.
$20.
For just $20, and you'll get some free stickers, like the one that's on our
Holder.
mic. We're just failing all day. I think this move really messed us up because we forgot the mic stand, and so now we have this lovely yellow cup to hold the microphone. But please let us know if it's sounding all right, because this is a new setup. We're testing out a new internet speed. Just cause we're in the mountains of Lake George, and I couldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah, dude. Southern part of the Adirondack mountain range, like.
Awesome.
Can't
Lake George Village, we're just here at the Mirth Films HQ, and so we had a pretty crazy weekend, not by choice, and we probably shouldn't have done some of the things that we did, especially going through a move, because so basically reason why we're now here and we're going to be doing our podcast here is we moved out of our first HQ, aka our first apartment, and
The lease ran up.
Yep, the lease ran up, and you know what? We were like, we're kind of done with this place. So, I am back down at my father's, and Doug's here at his apartment, and
Which is conveniently located right in front of my mother's.
Yeah, hey, we're right in Lake George, and you know what? It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be a great time. As this progresses on, the backdrop might change a little bit more. We might podcast to you from different areas around here. Maybe venture outside.
Yeah. So, and it's gonna be cool, and I got a lot of cool things coming up personally that I can't really share right now, but let's just say it's gonna make the content way better. So, we had to move, and it was a gruesome move for sure.
Most definitely, we did it pretty much in 2 days.
2 days.
Completely, which is not enough time to move.
And it wasn't just any 2 days. So just to start off on Thursday night, you'd think you would be completely prepared to move out of an apartment. Didn't even think about how much we had to actually clean.
I had no idea.
So Thursday night, me and Tom Chassler, other partner in this, we went to go cover 2 nights of Twiddle at Rutland at the Paramount Theater. It's 2 sold-out shows to help raise funds for the White Light Foundation, and it was awesome. But one of the best sets I've ever seen Twiddle play, and I've seen him over 20 times. I know people aren't really the biggest fans of Twiddle, and I get it for sure, but you can't doubt that these guys are talented, even if it's not up your alley. And so had to do that, and then continued packing and into Thursday, and then we went to go see. Who do we go see?
So Friday night, Formula 5 played at the Pun and Place. It was the last club show that they're gonna do before they go on their indefinite hiatus. I think they have 3 more shows.
Yep.
I don't remember all of them. I'm pretty sure one's gonna be at the upcoming Dish Jam Festival. One's going to be out in Colorado, and one's going to be at their own festival called Rock the Dock right here in lovely Lake George. But so they played at the Pun and Place. They played there a bunch of times. That was really kind of like a hometown show right there. So they raised it for 2 solid sets. I'm pretty sure they played 2 encore songs. They played well into the night. It was an amazing show. So we didn't even get home till 3 3:30 in the morning and started.
Go to bed at 4.
Go to bed at 4, and then
Worst.
go pick up the moving van at what, like 8, 9 o'clock, and
we were supposed to be there at 7 a.m.
Didn't make it.
So basically, what we had to do was we moved each other out. Loaded my stuff up first. Sorry to bore you before we get to the news, but so we basically had to move an hour away all of my stuff to then pack all of his stuff to move to Lake George. And by the time we got done, it was over 12 hours.
Yep.
And if you count the second day, we pretty much moved 24 hours worth.
Oh, most definitely.
Pretty much just, like a fraction of how much time we've actually put into Super Mario Party, So...
just a heads up, if you're planning on moving, give yourself a couple, a week to pack, and maybe a couple, give yourself at least 2 days to clean out that place to make sure you get your security deposit back, because it's a lot and you don't really realize it.
Exactly. And you know what, it's just just be prepared, because the things you don't think about end up happening. And I know when I should have packed the U-Haul way more, because when I drove home, not only did I have a car full packed, but then I had 2 backpacks that I had nowhere to put. So I had one backpack in between my legs, and then I had another backpack on my side. And at that point of moving, I was so hungry that I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get myself some Wendy's right now. So as I left the apartment complex, I went to Wendy's, loaded, and not only did those backpacks suck, but I had my fish Kenny Rogers also in the car. So I couldn't order a drink. It was pretty upsetting. I had a nice Dave's thick and juicy, quarter pounder, and
couldn't even wash it down.
Wash it down.
That's rough.
And think of how dehydrated you are after going to 2 shows and moving 24 hours worth of time.
Yeah, you're not drinking a lot of water in those times.
No. And the worst part is you got to still, you got to keep going. You got to keep going, because we got to keep bringing you this awesome content, which we want to thank every single one of our team members, because the thing is, they're kicking butt. And we covered so many different concerts, and we had people down at Pigeons playing ping pong in Albany, New York. We were up in Twiddle, Formula 5. It was a busy weekend for just a few people. And, so I want to take this time. We're going to just check our phones here, make sure the stream is looking good.
Make sure I post it on Facebook.
Because right now the health doesn't look that well, but hey, nobody's health's that well. We're in America. There's
I might just have to call up Spectrum, see if get a deal up in here.
Exactly, right? So, Doug, share with us some news about Jordan Peele.
So he has just popular show, Twilight Zone. It was, I want to say it came out 60s, 70s. It really was a revolutionary show. They're bringing it back, and Jordan Peele is the host of it.
Okay.
I'm from looking online. I don't have cable, so I can't watch Steve Stein. I know it's on CBS, but it looks like there's already been at least one episode out, and people have definitely been liking it, and I don't feel like it's that time. I really like like weird things, like kind of not things you really like. Reality TV is kind of just overplayed. Every show basically kind of feels the same.
Exactly.
Just slightly different premises.
Yep.
And so that's one thing in Twilight Zone. They really think outside of the box, make you think about life in like ways you wouldn't really think about it. So I mean, I'm definitely interested in seeing this show, but
So Dylan McKenzie is saying that there's a little lag, but it may be on his end.
I doubt it. It might be on our
end. It's probably on our end, man, because our health stream's not looking too well here. But hey, we're at a new place. We're kind of testing, kind of trying, and
that's all you can do.
So I'm gonna ask you, Dylan, how much lag between my voice and the video?
Is it like an okay amount, or is it like a frustrating amount where you don't like?
Would you stop watching it at this point?
Yeah.
Because we want to, we want everything to sound kind of good, kind of awesome, And if it doesn't, then this kind of sucks.
No, we need to figure these things out so next week it can be better. And you will want to tune in and watch the entire time.
How's it going? How you doing? I guess we could just continue with this. So let's break into the news here. Disc Jam just announced their second phase of the lineup, which I'm excited about. And they almost got me on an April Fool's tease because they said that, you know, hey, this Jam sold out. But thank God we're the press. We can, you know, we'll figure out how to get in there. But for the fans, that would have been upsetting.
Yeah.
I got pranked twice. Second one was in our hometown, Lake George. There was supposed to be a demolition of this place called the Village Mall, which is a lot of space to put in, and they were going to put an amphitheater in. And I was so hyped enough to text the guy who owned the property to ask him what more, you know, and he didn't respond. So when Doug told me that it was baloney, because he found out from Deanna, and it was just... Let's see what Dylan here says. Bear with us, guys, while we're trying to figure this out.
Sounds okay, no drops there, but the frame rate is low. All right.
So we got to ask you a question, Dylan. Is this worth continuing? Because you're the only person watching, man. We kind of blew this one.
Yeah,
after failing to do this 3 times.
Definitely started way too late. You know, that's how things are, man. Life is life can be a tricky one.
Life can be a really tricky one.
You know, sometimes it works out for you. Sometimes it's like, you know what? Take this out.
Sometimes you're kind of all right. Sometimes you're kind of fucked. And right now we might be kind of fucked. So we got 2 people watching now. All right, here we go. It's a party. Okay. So for the second person watching, we're just we're in a new place right now. We're trying to figure out, you know,
how we're coming through.
And if you don't mind communicating with us, letting us know
through the chat
how much delay there actually is between my voice. And now we got a good.
So you said we're saying.
We got good live. We got good live health.
We're getting there.
Awesome.
We made it.
We're kind of okay right now. So back to the news. Okay, so. Exposure calculator. So I came across this, and I didn't know if it was because they released this because it was April Fool's, but so pretty much there's this person who made a calculator for how much your exposure is worth. And what I mean by saying that is, it's common in the video production or photography world that somebody will say to you that, hey, we can't pay you any money, but can you do this for exposure? And you know, then you're kind of left with like, well, you just shot my goddamn dreams down. So they came out with this calculator to figure out how much exposure you're actually worth. So, you know, you pretty much took it, you fill out this form and figure out, and from there it calculates by an algorithm how much you're worth. So I got like 420, I'm worth 420 exposures. But the cool thing is, it would tell you how much you might actually be worth. So it said like $1,000. It's like, wow, that's how much I'm losing out on just getting some exposure. Yeah. If anybody asks you to do something for exposure, just, you know, step on their foot or something. Tell them no.
You need that
it's
paper.
not all right.
You got bills to pay.
You got bills to pay.
You got a mouth to feed. At least one. Yours.
Exactly. And when you're doing freelance and you got to work job to job and don't know where the money's coming from next, you know, you want to make sure you're getting paid in more than just exposure. That's just
you need more than that. I mean, don't get me wrong, exposure can be good. You gotta get your name out there, but like at the same moment, like, give me that exposure and give me that change.
Exactly. So next, Trey Anastasio's new project with John Fishman and some of the members of Tab finally released a song from their Ghosts of the Forest project, and the song entitled Ghosts of the Forest. And you could kind of describe it as like a psychedelic rock type of song. It was awesome. Tour starts up in 2 days, and they come to Albany on April 9th at the Palace Theater, and
about a week away.
I'm excited to see it, which also means, unfortunately, these podcasts aren't going to be continuing on Tuesdays. We're going to switch it to Wednesday. It's going to be more flexible for us.
I thought it was Mondays.
It's Mondays, guys.
Monday nights.
Monday nights. And so tune in on Mondays. But at the same time, you can also listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and soon, hopefully, iTunes. We're just trying to build up our portfolio of podcasts so that we can make sure that we definitely get approved for the platform, because we want you guys to be able to hear the podcast in your car, because that's where I listen to all my podcasts.
I listen to all mine
And the
work.
one upsetting thing about this move is, and I realized it today, I was like, oh, Nick Dompierre is on the 9 Club podcast. If you don't know who Nick Dompierre is, he used to skate for Real Skateboards. Awesome skateboarder, and then he just stopped skating for professionally and is a bodybuilder now.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I can't listen to this because I don't have to drive an hour anymore to my job. So, kind of sucks. So I might have a podcast to listen to on my way home from doing these. But, that being said, pretty much all of, actually, the first 7 dates of the Trey Anastasio's Goes to the Forest shows are sold out. So I know they're releasing some tickets for the Boston show. Make sure to look for that if they're still even available. For another plug, if you want to, watch all of our videos that we do other than the podcast, you want to, see what concerts, how some concerts were, or just want to find out some news, check out mirth-films.com and follow us, like us. We just put out a couple of videos, one for Groove Safe, which is a great foundation group for just,
people who are
raise awareness for sexual assault at live concerts. It happens.
It happens.
And some of the stories that I
cool.
heard from Ashley Driscoll, the founder of Groove Safe, I was astonished by what she said, because there's some pretty creepy guys in the jam band scene,
Mm-hmm.
So, protect your neck. And, it's just not, it's just,
And also, fellas out there, don't just be grabbing out there. Like,
keep your hands off. Keep your hands off.
golden
women.
rule. Keep your hands to yourself.
Exactly.
Treat others the way you want to be
They want to
treated.
enjoy the show just like you do, so don't be a weirdo. Please.
Yeah. No weirdos.
Women and children, come on. And also, we got awesome news. We're going to be holding the 4th annual Lake George Skate Plaza competition at Lake George, in the Lake George, New York Village. I don't know why I just said it like that. It's the Charles Arwood Festival Commons.
Located right off of, Westbrook Avenue?
Westbrook Avenue.
Like,
Look it up on Google Maps.
Yards, hundreds of yards from the beautiful lake, the south end of the lake, right by the Lake George Steamboat Company. But this is a skate park that actually me and this guy worked all throughout high school, fundraising for, planning, getting in contact with local businesses in the town. We went through a lot to get this park, and
7 years.
7 years, and we're finally was able to happen. We've been having competitions. We've been throwing competitions there ever since the first year it was there. We went from grand opening.
Yep.
And so we're trying to set up an annual contest. So we have another one this year. It's going to be at the beginning of August, August 3rd. If I'm almost on. It's Saturday. So we'll have more about that later on. But we're figuring that out.
Yeah, we're figuring that out. You'll be hearing more. Just make sure to like and follow us on all platforms and check our website, because we will be releasing information about that really soon. Last year's competition was awesome. Honestly, the best talent that I've ever seen in Lake George, other than Christian Mechanic. Shout out to Christian. Hey, I know you're a dad, but come skate.
Yeah.
You got time.
At least like a couple hours.
Couple hours.
We'll come pick you up.
Every couple months at least.
Yeah. Gotta keep fresh.
Gotta keep it fresh. And but we're really excited about it, though. We're gonna have a lot of prize giveaways. If you're a skateboarder and you're listening to this, definitely check this out. We might try to get some live music, kind of switch things up. And it's going to be really cool, so just stay tuned with that. Also, we got a lot of awesome surprise content coming out. We've been working on some sketch comedy lately. It's been really cool. It's been different because this is more of just right now type of thing, and some of our videos are more just documentary style. So we're trying to have some fun, figure it out. You know, we're not gonna nail it out of the park. The first one, knock it out of the park. You wouldn't nail it out of the park.
You know, it's something that we enjoy to do. You know, I'll have these very funny ideas. So it's actually it's really fun to actually write them down and record them and actually make these things a reality. So we hope you guys enjoy them and laugh at them as much as we do.
Exactly, and so we also have some questions this week. I'm going to start off with the first one. Tom Schassler, partner of Mirth Films, asks, call Tom Schassler and bring him on air. Next time, my dude. Until we figure this out a little more. You know, we just can't do it right now.
That's not really... Like, how's your question going to be, call me? That's not really a question, man.
No, it's not a question.
But, like, you should totally come here and be on the podcast. Why not?
4-Bit Nachos. Who's this? Let's see who we're talking to. I believe this is Dalton, the new place. You know, I'm back at my dad's, but it's for the right reasons. And like I said, I got a lot of surprises coming. Can't really say too much right now. It would really screw everything up. Yeah, I got my own studio at my dad's house. I don't have my room anymore. My cousin has it, but it's good. He's gonna be graduating. Really proud of him. And
Nick Fari, you're the man.
Nick Fari, you're the man. Let's go skate. We're living with each other, like 10 yards away. Not even. Tucker the koala, also contributor to Mirth Films, asks how you got into video. So this actually is a cool. So basically, how I got into video was when I was really young. My cousin Nick and we would go skate around the Albany, New York area. Upstate New York, and my mom gave me like an old camera from the 1980s, and I would just go around film, and I didn't even have like a proper battery to use the camera. So if we wanted to film skating, which the camera was in black and white, we would have to plug into a wall to run power to this crappy Sony Handycam, and it just sucked. But it was cool because then I got to have a camera, figure out how to use it. And then as years went by, because of skateboarding, and I ended up getting to meet this kid right over here who is my right-hand man when it comes to all this stuff and just life. And so we ended up, doing a lot of filming in Lake George and just hung out with all of our friends who also had the same ambitions and just wanted to skate and film. And I wasn't the best skater. I had my casual 50-50 front shove-its or, fakey 50-50, 180 50-50, 180 manual. Anything that was awkward, I would do. Everything that made sense wouldn't happen. So I was like, I'm going to stay behind the camera. And eventually just, went to school for it. Went to Hudson Valley Community College, dropped out. I'm proud to say I dropped out. Whatever. My life wasn't together at that time.
But it was a good time. Yep. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. Figured out life.
Actually moved into my house.
Moved into Doug's every time things in my life didn't go the way I wanted to.
Shouts out to Papa Quimby for
Mr.
supporting
Q.
A lot of my friends throughout the years. We probably had 3 or 4 of the friend groups stay at my house for
every night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even when Doug wasn't home, we would still hang out.
Yeah. No, I didn't have to be there.
It was okay, Shout out to Misunderstood, my woman. Frankie, I'm loving the sickly skater boy look. CKY. All I gotta say is Bam. Bam Margara.
Bam Margarita.
Hope you stop drinking, man.
No Bam Margarita.
Marissa has also got some cool things lined up for Mirth Films, which we can't share just yet, but we can promise it's going to be awesome. No, we cannot talk about the dead cat under my apartment that I had over on... Let's just not talk about that. Let's just say I had to buy a couple cans of air freshener every time. Thank God for Michaela Trombley because she saved my life. I moved out of that place on my birthday.
That's a great birthday.
Yeah.
You moved into a great... It was like moving from a shed to a lake house.
A shed with a dead cat under it. And the only way to get the smell out was just, you know.
You had to come shower at my house every single day.
My shower didn't have any heat, so I would drive to go shower at Doug's house, just like he would drive to go do laundry. You know, kind of lame, kind of not cool. Whatever you're gonna do, just. Looks can be deceiving, but not in the slightest bit with this one. So, but with the skating, we ended up just going to school and just, really loved it. Got out of my partying phase that everybody goes through in college, and just really just started to love this, and got into photography actually because of Marissa, and it was awesome. And now I'm literally just the past couple nights, every night of my life now, I'm up till 1 in the morning editing, doing something, just because it's you go through your day and you're at least for me, when we're low on content for Mirth Films, to me it's eating away at my soul. So I'm my literally my stress levels just rise and rise until it just breaks, and then I'm just that's once every month and a half burn out myself. But it's fun. It's cool. We're doing this. Get to do this. Get paid for doing this. Screw.
It's definitely better than a regular job.
Yeah. Yep. I would definitely like to be doing this other than other things. So also let's see what's up here. What were we talking about here? How we got into skating. Questions. That's right. Here we go. So, favorite concert shot. I would say my favorite concert shot that I ever took. It's so hard to say. I've never actually really thought about that. Maybe the one I took of Naughty. I took a picture of Naughty by Nature, and basically the lead guy in Naughty by Nature reached out to touch this little kid's hand, and luckily I was there to capture the moment, and I have that picture printed, and I really like that one. I also took an awesome picture that I'm really fond of, Paige McConnell of Fish, Page Side, Rage Side.
All day, every day.
I'm excited.
Find the LG crew.
Nice picture of Paige. And then my favorite picture, I would say that I can think of right now out of my portfolio without looking back, might it be either Kerry King of Slayer or Trey Anastasio at Central Park. That was a good time. I went down by myself just to shoot him, stayed 3 songs, and drove back for Josh's birthday. All the way back to 4 hours just to shoot Trey for 20 minutes.
Was it worth it?
Oh, my God. When you're me to you to your heroes, that's the reason why you do it. Because you can't do that up there. You can't, bust out a yam and jump on a trampoline and synchronously jump together.
It's unheard of. That's
why we're on this podcast talking about it. Shout out to Joe Rogan if you're listening. Thank you. We're doing a shout out for Joe Rogan every single week just because. So, and then topic of the week, Wi-Fi passwords. So if you didn't see, or if you looked at the title of this live stream, it's called Purplelion716, which is the Wi-Fi password of our
last apartment,
Mirth Films HQ version 1.0.
And I feel like this is a thing with everybody. Every the Wi-Fi password that comes with the box is always some ludicrous
the weirdest Wi-Fi password.
The weirdest thing. I remember when I was out in Vegas, my Wi-Fi password was Misty Phoenix 336.
Misty Phoenix 336.
Misty Phoenix.
Who comes up with this crap?
Right? Who is sitting in a room just coming up with these random terms that don't go together, and we're like, you know what? We gotta throw in a couple numbers in there too.
Exactly. It's okay, Purple Lion. Everybody's seen a Purple Lion, but 716, come on. Get out of here. And so and then I think mine in college was Thirsty Star 684. If you got any weird passwords, please comment them in the password. In the top chat. And but it's cool. whatever. But leading into why we're even talking about Wi-Fi passwords, we wanted tonight our topic of the week was to talk about how Mirth Films got started, where the name Mirth came from, without even knowing where the freaking name came from, or the understanding of what they actually meant.
Yeah.
So Doug, give a little background here.
So, like, I think this is 2013. I got into I kind of did some things that I probably shouldn't have done in school, and it led me to some legal troubles. But we're all past them. We're good.
Yep.
But so I wasn't able to go to this one Fish show. They're playing at Glens Falls. It was like the first time they're playing ever since they got banned in the 90s. When I want to say
94.
Yeah.
Halloween 94. Fish got banned because John Fishman was so high on acid that he ended up just stripping naked and running around the venue, according to what people say, and so they were banned for 19 years.
Yeah. So they came back in 2013 with a show, and I mean that's 20-30 minutes away from right where I live, so of course I wanted to go.
Yep.
But I wasn't able to go, so I was like, all right, I at least have to stream the show. Like, I gotta see it. I gotta be a part of it. So of course that one night that I already paid for the stream and everything, my internet goes down. The Wi-Fi just was not working at all. And I was like, what am I going to do? I remember you actually hit me up, like, oh, like, how's the show? I'm like, oh, I like can't watch it. But here's, like, my information.
Yep.
You should at least watch it. Like, I paid for it. Like, someone should enjoy this. So then my dad was like, well, why don't you ask, like, the upstairs neighbor? I was like, for his Wi-Fi password. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. So I went upstairs and asked him. And he was like, yeah, the password is Mirth is King. And I was like, what? But I had no time to question that. I had a Fish show.
The show
was
was on. Yeah,
the show was on. I was like, thank you, sir, and just went down on my way. And so people would come over, and I'm sorry, Gaylord, but sometimes I would give them your password.
Yep.
We couldn't have so many people on our password, but so eventually that just became like what. Who's Mirth? Why is he king? Like, what's that all about?
What is it about?
What is it about?
And years passed by.
Never.
And it was just became a saying to us.
Yeah.
Hey, Mirth is king. Mirth is king. And it was about almost 2 years ago now. We were like trying to figure out how we're gonna house all of our content, video content that we were doing that wasn't freelance for other businesses. And then we're like, I was just like, Mirth is king. Mirth Films.
King. Mirth Films.
And that's how the name got, established. And it wouldn't have ever happened unless if we weren't bums and just hanging out at your house.
Yeah.
And and now here we are today, and we're doing this awesome stuff. And then slowly as we started slinging the term Mirth is King, without even looking up what the term was, our buddy Tom was like, that has to do with Shriners. And that's when it all clicked.
Yeah.
Because Doug's upstairs neighbor
was a Shriner.
He was a Shriner. He rode in a Mario Kart go-kart.
That for parades, but
parades,
he had like 4 of them out back, like just on a trailer at all times. It was
pretty cool.
I wanted to drive one. I definitely would have ripped one around the village. But so that's where it came from, if you were wondering. Mirth Films. But and then we looked up like the definition of mirth, and it was like all about just like being happy, and it's like, yeah, that's what we're about.
That's what we're about.
So Mirth Films.
Mirth Films. Mirth is king. And now here we are, almost 2 years, and our team's growing. We got like almost 20 people on the back end of our team. We're all making awesome content, and I mean, we're trying, kind of living, kind of trying, kind of live, kind of living,
kind of doing what we can.
And you know what? It's awesome. But I think we're gonna cut this one short. Speaking, we had some trouble, some hiccups, but you know what? Crap happens, man. What are you gonna do?
So when you're kind of live, kind of living.
It's like when you get a farmhouse and the first song and you're like raged all day, and that's I mean, no offense.
No offense to Farmhouse, but
we
step your game up.
We pulled that crap tonight, and so.
But thank you for tuning in. Next week we'll be coming at you. You know, a lot more information at a Monday.
Yep.
So don't tune in on Tuesday. You might
don't
be a little
tune in
late.
on Tuesday. We'll keep you posted though. Like I said, stay tuned. Visit mirth-films.com and
check out our Etsy store if you want one of our T-shirts.
Check out the Etsy store, and just thank you all for continuing your support with what we're doing, and we couldn't ask for anything better. So, see ya.